Hi everyone, it's Agnes and I'm doing another interview today and it's with a special lady, Rachel. Hello Rachel, welcome to the interview.
Hi. Hello.
Rachel, where are you in the world?
I'm in the Bay Area in California.
Yep.
US.
Cool. It's always nice to know where people are around the world when we interview them. So today you and I had a chat about just talking about manifesting creative work, meaningful work, and also freedom. And you've been doing really well with that. And I wanted to do more videos on that topic, and you're just such a perfect example of that. So do you want to share a bit about where you started, what you were doing before, and what you did to get to where you are?
Sure. So at my previous job, I was working in the fashion industry. So I had a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
And I wasn't terribly happy with it over time. I mean, in the beginning I was, and then I wasn't. And it was one of those things where I just kind of kept following these little impulses to do something else, and little signs, and friends would say, "Oh, you're funny. You should start writing." And I was like, "Okay, I guess." So I started writing, and that slowly started to take off. And it still wasn't enough to quit my job, but I was kind of getting somewhere. I started writing for different publications, like the New York Times, for example.
Okay.
So I was doing well, but then I still knew I needed something more. And basically, I had this boyfriend, and we broke up. And when we were together, he would leave me little like sticky notes all over the place. And they would say things like, "I love you more than all the stars in the universe." And I would try to outdo him and write ones that are a little more naughty. And
Yeah.
so when we broke up, I thought, "Oh, I have all these notes. I don't know what to do with them." And then I thought, I'll just put them on some greeting cards and see what happens. And then I put them on Etsy. And then next thing you know, they were selling. And then within 4 months, I got written up in Cosmo. And then within 6 months, I got into a really big store. And then I was like, you know what? I might be onto something.
Yeah.
Something might be happening here. But the cool thing was that there was no I wasn't trying. There was no I'm gonna get this. There was no desperation. It was me just continuing to do something that I like to do.
Yeah.
Which is write in one form or another. And it led me to eventually quitting my job and doing it full time.
How long did it take from when you started it to when you quit your job?
It took about a year and a half.
It's not that long.
Which isn't that long, but I had been, like I said, writing before and copywriting, so I had been saving money.
Yeah.
So it didn't take that long. I also got, I don't want to say lucky, because it's not luck, because I worked hard and I put the energy out there, but I was getting stores pretty consistently. So I knew there was something. And the other thing is, I was burning the candle at both ends, as they say. I was doing the job, the 9-to-5 job, coming home, working out, socializing, packaging cards, and then I wouldn't go to bed till 2 in the morning.
Wow.
And after months of doing that, I was like, I'm exhausted. I can't do both.
Yeah.
And I actually asked the universe for a sign, or God, or whatever you want to call it. And I was like, I need a sign if I'm supposed to quit. And something happened at work that made me so upset. It made me feel so second best, actually.
Yeah.
It made me feel so worthless. I came home and cried. And I thought, this is my sign.
Yeah.
This cannot be the meaning for my life.
Yeah.
And so I quit.
Wow.
Which was scary. But
and how much notice did you give them? Was it a couple of weeks or?
I gave them standard 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
And I was so nervous, and I was shaking almost when I told my boss, because I worked there for so long. And he actually ended up being really nice and was like, "I'll do whatever I can to help you. I'm so proud of you." And he gave me a really nice going away party, a really nice, expensive gift.
So
And
you told him why you were leaving, because you'd started your own thing?
yeah.
Nice.
And it wasn't a competitive, like it wasn't a conflict with my old job was so different that I don't think he felt threatened by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told him and he was just like, wow, I had no idea it was going that well. I was like, sometimes it's nice to be underestimated, I guess.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me ask you, while you were working at your old job, you saw the Post-it notes, you kind of thought, I'll do a few cards. Then you went to Etsy. Throughout that whole process, were you aware of law of attraction and doing all this, working on your mind and imagining and all that stuff, or were you not doing any of that then?
Well, the funny thing is I've kind of been aware of law of attraction for like years, years and years and years. Because something happened to me when I tried to backpack Europe that was so crazy that I thought, okay, something is happening. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's but I find that in a lot of times I'm just doing it without thinking. It's the things that are difficult where I really have to apply the law of attraction consciously.
Yeah.
But in a lot of the other things, I think I'm applying it without realizing I'm applying it. And I think this is one of those situations.
It was just fun, and it was just the one thing after the other. It sounds like it just kind of unfolded without.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just unfolded because I was tuned into my what I like to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my creativity. And also because I did it while still having a safety net of a 9-to-5 job.
Yes, for a while. Yeah.
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 Which I think makes a difference as opposed to, I wasn't a single mom struggling.
Yes.
How to pay bills. That's a whole different scenario. I was pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
So I felt free to do all these other things.
Yeah. And does your ex-boyfriend know what you turned the little Post-it notes into?
I don't know. I hope he does. Yeah. I hope he does. Because I think it'll be so funny, but like, it was not the best breakup. Oh, and he broke up with me on a sticky note, on a Post-it note too. Isn't that amazing? It's so funny. It's like Sex in the City. Oh my God, it's so good.
Oh, that actually makes the story even better. That's hilarious.
It's poetic justice. Like, I love it.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're going to have to send him a mug or a greeting card with one of his. Yeah,
I should. Just like, maybe even anonymously, just see if he knows. That would be so funny.
Oh, that's so, okay. Tell me, what products do you sell apart from the cards?
So I have cards, I have mugs, I have pencils.
Yeah.
Shirts, wine labels.
Yeah.
Makeup bags.
Yeah. What's a wine label? You mean actually to stick on a wine bottle? Yeah.
So you can take off the old wine label. Like, let's say you're going to, like for Mother's Day, I sold a lot of these. Like, you get like a nice bottle of wine, you peel off the label, and you put on a new one. Okay. So I have labels that say, thanks for wiping my butt, happy Mother's Day, or I'm gift enough, but here's a bottle of wine, or sorry for my teenage years. Yeah. So those have been very popular this year, and then people just give their mom like a set of 4 bottles of wine or 6 bottles or whatever. Nice. Yeah. So it's fun. I get to have fun every day. Which it's crazy. I never thought I'd be doing this in a million years.
Yeah. What do you do with the pencils? What do you do? How do you sell those?
I write like little phrases on them. So I have ones that say like ovaries before broveries, which is from the American TV show Parks and Rec. And then one of them says thug life on it. Yeah. So they have different, like, one of them says future is female. Yeah. So you write it on this, you write it on the long part of the pencil. Yeah, I write it, actually might have a pencil. Yeah, it's always good to see. This one says Yas Queen, and it's actually my favorite one. It might go back. Might be backwards on. Can you see that? Is it too small? Might be too small. Move it a bit that way. Yeah, I can see the words, but now I can see. Yeah. Oh, nice. So you actually do that work yourself? Well, I mean, I get someone to manufacture it, but I tell them what to do.
You tell them what to do. And so have you got different manufacturers for the different things you do?
Exactly. So different ones for the pencils, the shirts, and then the cards and the mugs. So
yeah. So
and
you've got, how many products have you got altogether?
I think I have like 400 at this point.
400 different products.
Yeah. But I want to have more. Like I want to have like
wow.
No.
So okay, explain to me, because you named about 5 products. So how did you get from the 5? Is it they're all different products because they, like the mugs would have 300 different things that you wrote. Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly. And then eventually I want to have more like down the line candles and all kinds of gifty things.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. Well, my background's candles because I worked in a candle shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's huge now. It's been going, well, I don't work there anymore, obviously, but that was one of my first jobs. And I designed a candle label and we sold it, you know, on the internet and also in the shop. So that was my first kind of getting into interior design and homewares. So it's like you and I have a bit of crossover.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
I've just been working on my candle labels. I was just working on them yesterday, trying to narrow it down to what it's going to look like.
Yeah. So you do the designs?
I do the designs. I just don't do any manufacturing.
Yeah.
I design everything, and then, which is, I think, everybody these days.
Yeah.
You know, outsourcing.
Wow. Well, I did ceramic manufacturing, and then it got so expensive. I had a kiln, and I was, you know, doing the but it got to the point where a lot of other countries were knocking us out. It was too expensive, so I stopped doing it. But it's
that's the thing.
Fun. It's fun creating products. It's fun.
It's so fun creating products. It's like I work from home.
Yeah.
Whatever I want. I don't have a boss. I am my own boss.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because we talked before, and I feel like the viewers might appreciate this, but I think being creative can be kind of difficult in the sense that it's kind of like, you know, you're kind of like lauded. I think that's the right word. You're celebrated when you become famous.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce is celebrated now, but was everyone celebrating her on the way up? Maybe her parents. I think that's the case for a lot of creative people.
Yeah.
So you get there, people are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. I know. Yes. Okay, talk a bit about what your family said along the way, because you and I have talked about that. What were they saying to you when you started this?
Well, it's okay. So in college, okay, so just to give a background, my parents are, my mom is a doctor, my dad is an engineer. So very practical, you know, graduate degree type of people.
Yeah.
And all their friends are the same, and they just think that is the way to go. Yeah. And there's a lot of pressure growing up because all the kids were going into medical school. If not medical school, like they were going into, they were getting MBAs, law school, something like that. I had friends that were even told they wouldn't be in the will, their parents' will, if they didn't go to medical school.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how intense it was. And meanwhile, I couldn't even look at a dead frog without throwing up. I was like, I can't. So I went to college and I thought I'm going to major in history because I thought that would be pre-law. Like I could go to law school. But I also thought I'm good at history and maybe I'll find something else to do. So my dad, just not even like understanding the fact that there was some practicality behind my major, he sent me an article that he found in the newspaper that said history majors make the lowest amount of money. And I'm like, thanks, Dad.
Thanks, Dad.
But no, he didn't stop and say, why are you doing this? Like he didn't try to get what my point of view was or what he really want to do. Yeah. So when I graduated, I kind of just thought, screw all of you guys. Yeah. I'm not going to do law school. I'm not going to go into economics. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go to try to become an actress. Yes. Yeah. I wasn't even like interested in acting, but I just was so mad at them and just so in my rebellious phase. Yep. eventually realized that was dumb. And I finally got a job in the fashion industry, and they were like, all right, well, we're glad you have a real job now. They weren't, it wasn't anything they could brag about though to their friends.
Yeah.
They were kind of like, okay, you know, I guess. And eventually they kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
And now they're proud of me. I don't even know what my dad thinks, to be honest, but my mom is.
Yeah.
Because she's seen, like, I'm in stores nationwide.
Yeah.
I've gotten press, and she's like, I mean, it's not easy to get into a store. So she's like, oh, your card is in a store. Like, I can see that. Like, that's something I'm proud of.
Yeah.
But it definitely took a while for them to get there. And
yeah.
I have a lot of my own internal struggles, as we've talked about.
Yep.
To accept myself in my chosen career.
Yeah.
And like my extended family, my cousins and stuff have been weird. I shouldn't say weird, but like questioning about it.
Yes.
How much money do you make, and how do you?
Yeah.
One of them asked me, how do you live? Which I thought was a really weird question. I was like, well, that's a little rude.
Yes. Yes.
They just are like, I mean, people even ask my mom, like, but how does she make money? It's a
yeah.
I'm like, how does McDonald's make money?
Yes.
You sell a lot of them. That's how you make the money.
Exactly. But a lot of people don't know. Look, my mum gets that question too. What does your daughter really do? She's on YouTube. It's like, well, yeah, but how does she make money? It's that same question. Yeah. And it's like, well, creative people, hello, we actually make money too.
Right, exactly. Exactly. They don't get it unless you're on a movie screen or a TV screen or have an album out.
Yeah.
They're like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And the thing is, Rachel, this is the interesting bit. I was talking to a friend of mine who does coaching the other day, and we were talking about, you know, you could have a job and then you could get promoted and you can get a bit more money. But the thing is, there will always be a ceiling on how much a boss can pay you because they're running a business. You run your own business, there is no ceiling. You can expand. You can make more money than the doctor, the engineer, whoever's got the title from the degree. You can make more than them. And that's not why we do it. We do it because we have to be creative or we get depressed. That's why we do it.
Exactly. I think it's funny because a lot of people are, they don't realize that we can actually make more money.
Yeah.
And I think I'm finally on track to actually surpass people's job. I think.
Yep.
So I kind of just like dropped that in conversation with somebody. And I was like, like, I just wanted them to know, like, you're the sucker here, not me. Like, I'm doing what I love. And I work from home.
Yeah. And you start when you want. You wake up when you want, as long as you get a certain amount done in the day.
Yeah.
So great, isn't it? I think, Rachel, my favorite thing, waking up without an alarm. I don't know about you.
Oh, it's the best thing. It is. I hated waking up in the morning.
Me too.
I was constantly late for work.
Yep.
I wake up now. I do my visualizations. I meditate.
Yep.
Maybe I'll do a little bit, and then I start my day, and it's 1,000 times more pleasant.
Oh my God, you're not wrong. I will never take that for granted. Waking up when I want. And not having an alarm. That was offensive in the morning. That sound. Yeah.
You know, and I was like in the train in New York City, and it's like you're so squished.
Yeah.
And it's just a shit way to start the day.
Oh, awful energy when on commuting to work, because I'm sure there's a few people that want to be there, but a lot of them don't.
Right. I mean, I'm not slamming people with 9-to-5 jobs, because I know people have them and really enjoy it and need that structure. Yes. I just don't like when they're looking at me funny.
Yeah.
You do you and I'll do me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me too. I've got friends that do genuinely love their jobs, but I always said to them, I could never be happy doing that 5 days. I always felt trapped working Monday to Friday. I felt suffocated. I felt like I had a lack of freedom, and I'm a night owl, so I hate talking to anyone. before 10 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
I like
Yeah,
it. So and it's like you can't help how you are. Some people are morning people. They love getting up. They love getting going in the morning. Then a morning job where you actually get on, you know, in the bus or the train and you go to work, that's probably a great thing for people that love the morning.
Yeah.
So it depends you got to work out who you are and work out how to get what you need around you so that you're the most comfortable.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
For me, I wake up early, but I like to ease into the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the alarm and I like, let me wake up and have my tea.
Yeah.
Even working in the morning is too much. If
Yeah.
I go to bar class, oh, did you freeze? Oh no, there you are.
Yeah, all good.
If I go to like a workout in the morning, I'm like, I feel like my whole day is off.
Yeah.
You know, I need to have an easy morning.
Yeah, me too. And then it's like you kind of get to the mid-morning, you go, okay, now I'm ready to work. I'm going to do a couple of hours. And then I find like I'll do 3 hours. I'll have a couple of clients in the morning and then I go, right, I'm not booking anyone in from about lunchtime to about 3 o'clock. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to enjoy the sun, go for a chai or go for a cup of coffee or whatever I feel like. And then I come back and I'm refreshed and I've had some sun and some fresh air, come back and sit at the computer. Because a lot of the work we do with you too, because you're looking at orders, you got to look at what you got to send out. You got your eyes on the screen a lot. So need to pull away at some points.
Yeah, definitely. That's something I'm still sort of like training myself to do or working on because I have workaholic tendencies.
Yes. Yes.
Rachel,
I found it really hard the first year. I worked 7 days a week. Every email that came in, I did it within half an hour and I was obsessed. Just couldn't stop. So I hear what you're saying.
Yeah. And I think especially when you don't have a paycheck coming in, there's this feeling of like, well, I've got to do it because no one else is paying me. It's me.
Yeah.
I have everything.
Yes.
But, you know, going back to the second best thing, I realized this is a fundamental way to make myself first best or put myself first.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Take a break. And for me, I feel like I have a really nice balcony.
Yep.
And I'm looking at it right now. It's so cute. And I furnished it and everything.
Yeah.
And I never sit on it. I'm like, I need to go like around like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, have a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And read for like at least 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And not like work like a, you know, constantly,
you
know, like, it's not helping me.
I know. I did the same. I actually made a decision at the beginning of 2018 because I'd worked 7 days a week for about 18 months and I was exhausted too. And I thought, okay, can't be doing this law of attraction stuff and be exhausted. So I now take 2 full days off and I don't look at emails, don't look at the computer. I go and visit friends. Today, after you, I'm going to have lunch with a girlfriend. It was her birthday a week ago, taking her out for lunch. So it's doing those things because it's weird adjusting. There's almost not this sense of guilt, but this kind of I'm wasting time feeling if I'm just out wandering around doing whatever, you know?
Yeah. I'm wasting time. I actually do feel guilty because I feel like guilty that I'm wasting the time.
Yeah.
When I could be working.
Yes.
And
yes.
But I started doing your phrase, I make twice the money in half the time.
Yeah.
I keep doing that and it has been working. And I realize that like I have to work smarter, not harder.
Yes. Actually, Rachel, there's a guy I listen to on YouTube. He's called Tim Ferriss. I'll put the link down below.
Oh, yeah.
And he did the 4-hour work week.
Yeah.
And he said something in that I'll never forget. He said, think about whether you're being busy or you're being productive. And it changed how I worked from that moment.
That's true. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was really good. And it gave me more energy, gave me more time because I was doing certain things that were just pumping out, answering emails and all this stuff. Now I copy and paste a lot of that stuff instead of answering each one individually. That was being more productive. So looking at all those processes made a really big difference Oh, but that takes time because when you start, you don't have much work. So everything takes you 5 minutes, 10 minutes. As things grow, those things turn into 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're sleeping 4 hours a night because you're trying to keep up, and you realize, hang on, I got to look at my systems, not trying to keep up with that. That's not the way to go.
Right. Well, I finally hired a virtual assistant because they can do all the kind of like paperwork type of stuff. And and that frees up some of my time.
Yeah.
The other
how many days a week do you have them?
It's kind of like she works it's not that much, like maybe 5 to 10 hours a week.
Yeah.
She just kind of types up invoices for me, or like will send out some emails. But it's very basic. I don't have to do anything crazy.
Yep.
Just because I still have to have my eye on everything. But
yes.
Because it's my name on it. But she does like stuff that's just easy to take over.
Yeah. And where did you find her? Is it virtual as in she's in another country, or her?
Yeah, I think she's in the Philippines. She's in the
okay.
Philippines.
Yeah.
There's companies, if you look up virtual assistants.
Yeah.
And they have all these places that are people that are in Philippines, India. I think those are the two big ones, the Philippines and India, because they both speak English.
Yes.
So I went with her, and it's reasonably priced, and I'm like, this is great, frees up my time.
Yeah, for sure. I've done the same. I've got someone 1 day a week that does all my YouTube, fixing up my descriptions and different things. And it's honestly, same as you, it was the best decision I've ever made. And I'm going to continue to try and extend it to give her more work.
Yeah.
So, it does. It just makes you go, now I can focus on the creative stuff again.
Right. Exactly. Not worry about the nitty gritty that's kind of boring.
Yeah. For us, it's boring because we're not those kind of people. We're more ideas people, creating people, colors, shapes, designs. That's what we do. So, yeah.
Well, I was more okay with doing all that nitty gritty.
Yeah.
But as the company grows, I find that I need to focus my energy on more important things.
Yeah. Same. Yeah, exactly the same. And it's so good to actually start to let go a bit rather than thinking I'm the one that has to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can let go a bit of the stuff that someone else can do. And like you say, you got to keep an eye on it a little bit, and that's okay until they get the hang of how you work. But then it gets easy for them, and then you can give them a bit more of something else and free up a little bit more of your time.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just think your business is fabulous. It is so great. Look, just because your business is visual, have you got anything else that's laying around that you can show us just so we can see it? Like a card or a mug?
Actually, I do. I have this, coincidentally, I have this little box here.
Oh, good. I'd love to see it because it's visual. It's just nice to see.
Yeah, totally. Let's see. Let me find a good one. These are like sometimes I print ones that are like, I printed too many, and let's see. Okay. These are not well, this one's popular, so maybe I'll show you guys that one. Well, and this one too. Well, these three. Well, I don't know if this is a little too X-rated. I have some X-rated ones in here, but
that's all right. Just don't read it out, otherwise I'll have to edit.
Okay. I won't even show it.
Just hold it up and we'll read it.
No, there's pictures on it too, so I don't.
Oh, that's okay. No, I don't mind.
I think it's really funny, and it's okay. Well, there's this one which is very popular.
Yeah.
Is it backwards or is it?
No, it's right. Are you a sea lion? Because I see you lying in my bed. Oh, that's a very good play on words.
Thank you. So that's more of like the cutesy one. Oh my God, where did it go? It was so funny. Okay, well, here. So that's like the tamer one. This is like a funny, if you guys know that Meatloaf song.
Oh, we're doing for you.
From back in the day.
Oh, yes.
And then this one is a little X. Ooh. Not X. So,
how do you come up with ideas? Do they just pop into your head at random moments?
They pop into my head and I put them down on my phone.
Okay.
And then
while you're talking to someone, while you're out exercise, like when? Just random?
just randomly, I could be talking, I could be watching a movie, I could look at something online.
Yeah.
And then I think, oh, this is a good idea. I should write this down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And then, and then I just write them down and I just do them. And, sometimes I think, now I can't find the really funny one I wanted to show you. But it's funny because sometimes I think I have a really great idea and then it turns out, oh, I like this one too. But I think people are kind of scared to give it to anybody. It's like for getting married. But
Oh.
you get the idea. It's funny though, because the ones that I think are the good, gonna be, you never know what's gonna be a good seller or not.
No.
You only know once it's out there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it sells or doesn't sell. But yeah.
So do you put the same thing you put on a card on a mug?
No, the mugs are a little bit different. They'll be more like I have a mug that says I don't do mornings.
Yeah.
So it's more about waking up or
morning stuff. Yeah.
Then the one that I have for Mother's Day is Mama Bear, and it's a picture of a bear.
Yeah.
And then Mama on it. So those are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because the cards are more like birthdays, engagement, baby shower.
Okay.
Whereas the mugs are more like, just.
Yep.
Yeah, and one that says like punch today in the face. You know, kind of like go get them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're a little different. The makeup bags are a little different.
Yeah.
For makeup, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
so
like
when, so when you said you've got 400 products, is that 400, like you were saying mugs and you were saying the pencils, you were saying the cards and then the makeup bags?
That's like everything put together.
Okay. So you mean with the different sayings on it? Like say
right.
you'd have 2 mugs that have 2 different things written on them. So you count that as 2 products.
Exactly.
Okay. I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
But you've got a core of about 5 items. Is that right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
And then, t-shirts too, you said.
And t-shirts too.
Yeah.
Which, those sell really well too. So I'm working on more of those.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole feminist movement or resurrection.
Yeah.
Feminist resurrection.
Yeah.
The feminist shirts sell really well too. Like I have one that says bitches get shit done. Bitches get stuff done. Stuff like that sells really well. Especially for the marches. I always have like a few people trying to buy shirts for March. So yeah, and I'm really excited about the candles.
Yes.
They're not out yet, but I'm excited because I can't give too much away because they're not out yet. But
no, that's right.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I want to tell them it's going to be so cool because they're not going to be the typical frou-frou candles. So that's the only thing.
Yeah.
I'm excited for those.
So you're going to put something on them, or are you going to sell really good quality ones like soy wax or what?
Yeah, all soy wax.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't want to have chocolate candles.
No.
And then they're gonna have like a cute little label, but they're gonna be more like on the fun side and not like the like the frou-frou candle side. Yeah. I love a good frou-frou candle. I have I think I have like at least 4 of them, but that's not really my brand.
That's not your brand. Yeah. Yeah.
That's something sarcastic and ridiculous. So they're more like I'm gonna have they're gonna tie in with different occasions and things like that. So they're
good idea. So what's your favorite thing like about the business right now? What's your favorite fun thing that you love to do?
That's a good question. My favorite thing is sounds terrible. My favorite thing is when I get a store order and I'm like, yes. But like I love when an order comes in from my sales rep or from Etsy and I'm like, another store. But I guess outside of that is the actual design part, the creative part. Because that's where I can really be creative. I'm not doing accounting. I'm not emailing. I feel like I'm getting something done as opposed to just doing admin. So that's always like a nice feeling to actually like constantly get it done. And what's really satisfying is when I make something and then it sells immediately. It's like, oh, that's good. That's
yeah,
cool. Like,
isn't it?
all right, I made a card yesterday and I put it online and it started selling, and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, for sure. So let me ask you, because you get stuff manufactured, do you get it, like if you got a warehouse, where do you keep all this stuff?
I actually lucked out, and this could also be law of attraction as well. I found a printer that will store everything for me.
Even the other stuff that's not from them?
Yeah. And
Wow.
they'll do it for free.
What?
I know. It's crazy. I'm almost like how did that happen? But
Yeah.
yeah. And the best part is they're actually really thankful to me. I went to visit them and they were like, thank you so much. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, because they're like a mom and pop kind of place.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think they're a little more appreciative.
So do you get your printing done there?
Yeah, they do everything. They print and they store, and they, like, the one girl there was like, thank you for giving me job security. And I was like,
wow.
oh my God.
That's lovely.
I know. I was like crying on the inside. I didn't want to do it outwardly, but like, I'm like, wow, I never thought of myself as someone who's giving someone a job. It's funny because the other thing I think with being creative, at least for me, is that I often felt like I'm not, like, what am I really doing?
Yeah.
How am I helping the world?
Yes, yes, yes.
Like, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saving anyone's life. Like, my dad is cleaning up toxic waste from the environment.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. And then you hear someone go, thank you for giving me job security. And you go, what? Oh my God. Like, okay, I am making a difference.
That's lovely. And how big's the operation? How many people work there?
Like 10. It's really small.
It's small, but you must be you're giving them more and more and more work over time.
Yeah. So I think like I think I'm probably one of their most consistent clients.
Yeah.
I might have ones that have bigger orders, but I think because I'm consistent, probably over time,
yeah.
So yeah, it was such a good feeling.
Isn't it? That's lovely.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're both like,
yeah,
feeding off each other.
Yeah, in a good way. Yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It made me feel good, and I'm like, no, I'll never leave them.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And when you first started, was it them that you went to when you just started printing your cards?
Yeah, what's crazy is I looked everywhere for a printer, and a lot of people would print, but they wouldn't do all the other stuff that I wanted them to do.
Yeah.
Like do the packaging and drop shipping, drop shipping is like shipping to individual stores as opposed to like we're shipping it just all to you.
And then you have to deal with it. So they go and they organize the
other. Yeah. And, or people would do it, but they charge a lot of money. And it was really hard as someone starting out going like, well, how do you start a business? Like, expensive.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, but I somehow found them from just digging and digging and digging on the internet. And
wow.
It worked out really well. And it's one of those things that makes me go like, okay, so this universe or somebody's looking out like this is meant to be, like it worked out.
Yeah.
Because there's many things I've done that have not worked out.
Yes, me too. And it's good for people to hear that because, you see someone's doing fairly well as you are. And there's so many, for every one thing that works well, there's another 8 things that didn't work.
Right, exactly. People think like, oh, you're so lucky it just worked out. I'm like, no. Yeah. There was a lot of other crap that I went through before that.
Yeah.
Get to this. I think the key is with this is I actually really like it.
Yeah.
And that's And ironically, maybe ironic is not the right word, but so ever since I was like a teenager, I've saved greeting cards. Like if anyone would give me a greeting card, I would save it.
Yeah.
Put them all in a little box.
Yeah.
And one day I forgot about it, and I stumbled upon the box, and I opened it, and I was like, oh my God, I've always had a thing for greeting cards. I
Wow.
didn't know. And it was like a harbinger, it was like predicting my future.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think I was successful in it because I just really liked it.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I think that's key. If you don't like it, or you kind of like it, it's got to be that you really love it, and that it interests you endlessly. Even if no one ever bought anything, it's got to be of interest to you.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And so are these people near you, the printer? Like, are they physically near you?
No, they're not even. They're like a plane ride away. They're not even.
Okay.
I met them for the first time this year, and I had for 3 years I'd been just talking to them on the phone and email. Like every day I'm pretty much in contact with them.
Yep.
And I finally met them.
Wow. So, lovely
experience. Yeah, it was really nice.
And is that when the woman said to you, thank you for giving me job security, when you saw them?
Yeah. It was really nice.
That's beautiful. That's the wonderful, you can have those great relationships with people that you work with. You really can.
You really can. And like, when I think about my old job and how nasty some of the people were,
yeah,
like, it just reaffirms that I'm in the right place, because I don't have any of those nasty relationships now. I have much good relationships with everybody.
Yeah.
And have to have that in your life if you don't want it.
Yeah.
And I look back and I also think the people that were rude to me, they were actually nice to some of my coworkers. So it's obvious to me, looking back, that I just wasn't a good fit for that job. Like, I don't think I'm a person.
Yeah.
Like, everybody does, but
yeah.
I had a coworker that would curse all the time, and like, this was very vocal about her, how do I put this, opinion? She wasn't a soft, sugar-coated type of person. She was very F word, and I think you're blah, blah, blah. Wow. But somehow I found that more people were kind of had a problem with me, and I always was like, I don't understand. But looking back, I'm like, it wasn't the right fit. Yeah. I needed to go. Yeah.
And I felt the same about my last position. I was getting there late because I didn't want to be there. I was trying to get out early because I didn't want to be there. I was shortcutting. When I look back at my mindset, I felt so angry and suffocated being there. I was doing the wrong thing, really, in a lot of ways. So you look back at yourself and you can understand more what was going on when you say,
Yeah, exactly. It's yeah, I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, as they say. But
yeah.
I mean, it's fine at the time. It gave me a steady paycheck, and I was able to get this off the ground.
Yeah. For sure.
So it served its purpose at the time.
Yeah. So how long you been operating now?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah. So it's still pretty new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things are still growing. And actually, I thought your viewers might like this little tidbit, which is that, so going back to doing what you love, I had written a story and I had posted it on Facebook. It's just a story about when I went to Mexico with some girlfriends, and like we got in a fight with this other girl. It was very like a Bridesmaids or like Girls Trip. It was like out of a movie. It was such a bizarre story. Yeah. But it was funny. So I posted it, and I was friends on Facebook with a former client, and I forgot completely that I was even friends with her on Facebook. She noticed the story and thought it was funny. She sent it to her friends. They thought it was funny. She ends up calling me or emailing me a few months later, asking me if I want to do some work for her as a writer. And I was like, sure. And then turns out she works in PR. And so she's actually helping me with the PR. And I'm like, and for months I was like, how am I going to find a PR agent? They're so expensive. What am I going to do? And this just all fell into my lap. And it's all because I just wrote a story and I liked it and I put it on Facebook with no ulterior motive. Just
Yeah.
I wanted to write a funny story and I wrote
Yeah. Wow. Those little golden links in the chain that show up later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Always do what you love, I think.
Yeah. So agree with you.
Yeah.
It's the key. It's the foundation of the whole thing.
I think so. I mean, for anyone who's trying to figure out how to make more money or get ahead in their career or find something new that they want to do.
Yeah.
It always boils down to that.
Yeah.
Even like to do it, even if you don't think you're going to make any money off of it.
Yeah.
To just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think I was going to make any money off writing, off greeting cards, off any of it.
Yeah.
I just did it.
Yeah.
And then poof, here I am.
Yeah. And I started YouTubing because I loved the law of attraction and been studying it for over 25 years at that time. And I remember thinking, well, I've managed to manifest certain things and I think it'll give people relief. So I'll just share my stories. Wasn't to start a business at all.
Oh, wow.
At all. It had nothing to do with it. It was purely for a hobby, for fun.
Oh, wow. And
yeah.
Here you are.
So it's the same as what you're saying. It's like you just do it because you want to do it, money aside. And like you, I was doing it for fun. And then I had a job, same as you. I was working, doing interior design for shops. And it just over time started to grow. And then I just thought, hey, I'm going to do a coaching course because I'm interested. Yeah. And then the two things just came together. And I wasn't thinking, I thought I'll just do coaching, but I wasn't thinking of attaching YouTube to it. I hadn't, you just don't have sometimes you don't see something clearly. Later you go, oh my God, how could I've not seen that? It was so obvious. But you're just starting a very small thing. You're not looking miles ahead.
No.
You're just not.
No, you're just putting one foot in front of the other.
Yeah. And then it starts to, like you with your different products, you've added other products in. I've added other things on my YouTube channel. So all of a sudden something sort of someone asks you a question and then the same person asks you the question. Then you get 50 emails about the same question. You think, oh, that'd be a good idea to start that. So you just follow the pebbles that are falling out of the bag, like the Robin Hood thing, you just follow. It's fascinating.
Exactly. Yeah, it's amazing. Like it
is. Yeah. And that becomes part of the process too. The allowing of it, the just letting it unfold, the just enjoying what you're doing right now and letting go of anything else because it really doesn't matter. You got to finish you can only do so much work in one day.
Right. That's true. And I think that's hard for me and I'm guessing other people with their own business because my friend had a really great analogy. When you have a ladder, you start at the bottom of the ladder and you turn around and look down, you're only a few inches off the ground. So it's like, whatever. But once you get higher up the ladder, as you become more successful, you turn around and look and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm a long way from the ground.
Yes.
Now I have more to lose. There's more at stake. If I fall, I could break my leg. And as I climb the ladder, I find myself going, oh boy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself to go, no, just pretend you're at the bottom of the ladder. Just act, sometimes it's easier said than done.
That's so true. That's so true. Because it's kind of like, it just kind of keeps pushing you up because you have got other things coming in underneath. Yeah, it's such a creative, meaningful business is so rewarding and so fulfilling. You can't even explain it to somebody until they do it, just how much it is different to working a job you don't like. Oh,
it's so different.
Yeah.
Knowing that, well, you're fulfilled within yourself.
Yeah.
That's priceless. You can't.
Yeah.
Put it. I mean, I was willing to take the pay cut and take the risk.
Me too.
I just thought, if I stay in this job, I'm gonna die alone in my apartment, and there's gonna be cats eating my face. Like, it's gonna be, it's not gonna be cute.
No, I know.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
And so that was enough of a reason to make me get the hell out of there. But Yeah, I can't even think about looking back. And then like my this customer had written a review. I sell like cancer sympathy cards, and she said, I bought this for my friend. It made her laugh. Her husband was dying, and it made her laugh for like 10 minutes, and it brightened up her day. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You don't even think of it as being that meaningful at all.
No.
When you're doing something like that.
Yeah, wow. That's great that people actually take the time. Have you got it stamped on the back of each card, your details?
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
They go on the website and they can write review. On Etsy, it prompts you to write a review, but then on my website too, it sends you an email saying, would you like to purchase?
Yeah.
So
that's lovely. That's
nice.
lovely.
Reaffirmation.
Yeah. Do you reply to things like that?
I do. Well, it's weird because Etsy doesn't let you respond publicly to the positive ones, only the negative ones, which I think is really messed up.
Yeah.
Because I would actually like to respond to the positive ones.
Yeah.
But so I just email them privately and just say like, wow, that's amazing.
Ah, good. Oh, so it does give you their email address. You just got to do it off the Etsy site.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
It's so great. Look, to be creatively fulfilled and to have a business that you love. And I'm sure too, there's people that are not creative that have they can start their own amazing business too. It doesn't matter if it's IT or whatever it is you're interested in, that you love the subject of your business.
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. Yeah, like you said, it could be IT.
Yeah, anything.
Anything, really. I mean, I think trust is a big thing. You have to, which is hard.
Yeah.
You have to trust that it's all going to work out and all going to be fine. And that's a tall order sometimes.
Yeah, and in the beginning, you're working a lot because you think, what if this doesn't work financially? I'm going to have to go back and get a job, and you just don't want to do that. So you work like a crazy person.
Yeah, and you also don't want to have to like admit it. For me, where I don't want to put my tail between my legs and go, all right, guys, my business didn't work out. I've got to
get a job. Yeah, I know, Rachel. I know. I had the same thing. Okay, you're back.
There you are. There you are. Yeah, I think that's like the other thing. But I think having trust is like a big thing, which I don't really know how you
learn it kind of just day after day. It grows, I think, just because you see a little result or you see something that's working and then you put your energy into that. I think the trust grows in time.
Yeah, that's
because it sounds like you, like me, you're not struggling for your financial survival anymore. That's not an issue. You're doing way better than you did at your last job. And I am too. And I was making a lot of money at my last job, but I was physically smashed into the ground because I was moving furniture to do big installations in homeware stores. So I was physically smashed. Didn't matter how much money they paid me. I was exhausted and I'd had enough. So you go, okay, that's not the way to go.
No, that's not the way to go. And actually, you had said something to me before in one of our sessions, which is because I felt like I've been plateauing, and I had a certain level of success, but I definitely think I was in that point in the ladder where I was like looking down and I'm kind of scared and I don't know what to do and like how do I get it to the next level?
Yeah.
And I realized that I had to I had to start valuing my work.
Yes.
Which was kind of what we've touched upon. I had to, because what I was doing was waiting for other people to tell me it was great.
Yes.
I was waiting for family and friends and everybody. And the thing is, they were just mirroring my fears by asking me how much money I made.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, like, but just, can you notice me? And like, can you tell me how great I am? And once I just sort of stopped and just said, listen, I've actually done pretty well. Like, I've done this, gone to all these stores. This is actually very difficult. I've actually done it on my own. I did it while I had a 9-to-5 job.
Yep.
You know, and I'm in big stores. I'm not even in like, it's not just like I'm in some rinky-dink store, but I'm in some big too.
Yeah.
And not only that, my writing, I've been published in pretty big things.
Yeah.
And I stopped and looked at that. I was like, wait a minute.
Why am I? Yeah.
Why am I looking at these people's validation? I have no idea. And it's not like they've done anything so fascinating.
Yeah.
They went to college. They're all very successful people, but they followed the typical, oh, what happened to my,
oh. Lost your video. There you are.
Oh, there I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't know why I was validating anything they had to say. They had like, successful careers, but it wasn't the career I wanted. It was very, get a job, get the good salary, blah, 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 which is fine.
Yeah.
But have they ever branched out on their own?
Yeah.
No.
No.
And I don't know that they could.
Yeah.
It's scary,
some people can. It is scary. It is. Actually, Rachel, I think it's frozen, but I'm just going to start talking about it before you come back. Yeah. I wanted to ask you, because so much of when you're working a job, and if it's a job you like, this isn't an issue, but you're still exchanging 1 hour of time for 1 hour of money. With what you and I do, we're often making money while we're asleep.
Right.
So what would you say to the viewers about that particular thing of stop exchanging time for money and start making stuff or creating a product or service that you actually make money when you're not even doing anything?
Right. I mean, I didn't realize that people actually thought about that, to be honest. Because to me, I always thought in the sum, like the lump sum or the aggregate, which is, all right, well, how much am I making a week? How much am I making a day? How much, like, I'm not, if you just break it down hourly, you really can't, because it's whatever you have to do for your job. So you're not literally getting paid per hour. So you just kind of have to look at, like, there'll be days where, like, I remember I was sitting at the pool, and I got 3 orders, and I was like, wow, I just made a large sum of money, and I'm sitting by a pool.
I'm sitting by the pool, yeah.
And that part of me was like, yeah. And then the other part of me was like, yeah, but, you know, all the other times you're answering emails, you're doing this, you're doing that. So, kind of in the broader picture.
It levels out,
It levels out. You can't do the hourly thing, because then if that's your MO, then you kind of need to have an hourly job. It's not work out.
But I think, Rachel, that's the amazing thing about being someone who's created a business, is you can then create a product or service, and you can meet the demand, because you get a lot of information from what suppliers tell you, wholesalers tell you. For me, it's my viewers or the emails I get from people that do coaching. I get a lot of information. It's kind of research that you do without really doing any research, because it just comes into you every day, little bits. And so you create from information that comes to you.
Right.
Or you create from, oh, that product sold really well. Let me create other products within that, you know, that genre.
Exactly. Right.
So
exactly. Yeah. If it's slower.
Oh. Come back.
So, you know, for me, I'll be like, you know what, this is the time where I'll make a bunch of new things, or I don't know, I'll work on a bunch of social media posts. So you kind of take the ebb and flow as it comes. Yeah. And you work with it rather than fighting against it. Yeah. You can't be like this all the time. Yeah. You know, and you're going to have high periods and low periods. So yeah, for sure. That's the nature of the business. It is. It is. Can't get mad about it. No, you just keep working. Rachel, this has been such a fabulous bit of information and such great interview. I'd love to interview you again about meaningful creative work at a later date. We'll do a part 2, because I love talking. This is one of my
Law of attraction I love, and then creative or just work that people love and they love what they do and it's their dream work. That's my second favorite subject. So
Awesome.
I'd love you to come back on if you're willing. And if you have time, I know you're busy, but there will be comments in the thread where people will want to ask you something. If you have time, pop your head in. And also send me the information that we're going to put down below. And then when I upload it later this afternoon, I will put people in contact with your stuff. Can they order online depending on where people are in the world?
Yeah, they can order anywhere in the world.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. I mean, it's so nice when you actually know someone face to face and then you've seen them on an interview and then you order their products. You know, I think that is always, I find I feel more connected to what I'm buying. So
yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely cool people that I've seen. So
yeah, lovely. Well, thank you for your time today. I'm glad that you work from home so you could fit us in.
Yes.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to shut this down. Stay on the line and we'll just say goodbye on our own.